Alright guys, so here I am to review The Incredible Hulk. I know that not a lot of people like this movie. I know that it's gotten a pretty bad rep. Um, and I'm just going to point this out now. A lot of Marvel's movies leading up to the very first Avengers movie weren't really the best. And I don't know, I just sort of see a similarity between how, their movie, a lot of their movies leading up to their first team up movie wasn't really well received, like Iron Man 2 or The Incredible Hulk, and even more controversial movies like Thor, where half the people on the earth hated it, half the people on the earth were bored, and the other half were freaking loved it. So I just see a similarity between that and DC's movies back in 2016 and 2017. Anyway, besides all of that, I personally kinda like this movie. Now, truthfully, I did grow up with this movie just like I grew up with the first Iron Man movie. And in that review, I said I was 10 when that movie came out. I'm 20 now, I'm 20 now, and Avengers Infinity War has nearly come out. So, is nearly out. So, yeah, I like this movie out of nostalgia a little bit. But the fact is that I just think it's a fun action movie. Plain and simple. I know it has problems. There are a lot of problems with it. First problem that I'm actually going to point out is that, yeah, it's a bit dull. Sometimes it can get a little bit melodramatic, but I still like it, okay? If I'm bored and have nothing better to do, this is one of a couple movies that I would just put in to just mindlessly entertain myself. So one thing on the positive side that I have to mention is the score. Now, not a lot of people actually... Now, I haven't seen any reviews pretty much at all of this movie. I've heard people talk about it here and there. But one of the things that I haven't heard from people is the score. I kind of like the score for this movie, the music. I think it's very upbeat and exciting. It's nothing different, but I like it. I like especially the music that they use for the opening of the movie. I kind of liked it. It was just it got me locked into the idea of, okay, we're on a ride here. Okay, this point that I'm about to bring up is very long. Okay, so I'm gonna talk about it just for a while. It's the film's story and characters are a little rushed, because I feel like there's shifting tones, because then it jumps from, like, it starts out with Banner on the run, hiding from, I forgot his name. Just hold on one second. General Ross. Yeah, Thunderbolt Ross. He's basically on the run from the government and from the military, mainly. He's on the run from the military because they are after him. And I kind of like that idea more. But every time they make a Hulk movie like that where he's on the run and stuff, it has to be turned into a blockbuster. Now, watching it, I realized that there was a sort of tone consistent with him being on the run. It was very like secluded. It was like secluded. I don't know if that's the right word to use, but it was, the best way I can describe it is it was kind of like Logan, right? Logan came out last year, and he was kind of on the run, and it was kind of like a lonely movie because they were all on the run, and it was very held back, like they held back from the big action blockbuster stuff. And when he was on the run, it felt like that. It felt like okay, this, like, if they just made a movie with him just on the run, just trying to survive and going through some sort of personal problem, that would have been great, right? And it starts out sort of like that, the personal problem being that he's the Hulk and he's trying to stop being the Hulk and he's on the run. I like that idea, but then it turns into a blockbuster action movie, and it goes from him being on the run to them doing the cliche, like, Hulk versus army fighting. I guess my idea of the Hulk movie that I just expressed, that would have been great. That would still have that in there, but I don't know. It just it just seemed like with Iron Man, right? What they could have done with that movie, what I was seeing the potential in that movie. Iron Man versus this terrorist organization, that could have been very grounded, very realistic, but also it still could have told the superhero origin. But as soon as they bring in Obadiah Stane, it becomes a generic hero blockbuster, where you have the hero fighting this larger than life villain, and what would have probably worked better for a more realistic and grounded story is him just trying to run away, also trying to stop being the Hulk with the government chasing him, basically. I feel like if they would have written that better and just turned that into a drama, that would have been great. That would have been more realistic. It would have, well, not realistic because, the Hulk, but it also, it would have been more relatable, I guess. Because like if they could have turned it into something like, say, like The Fugitive. Oh my gosh, The Fugitive. Something that some harmless guy did something wrong, or was in the middle of doing, or got caught in the middle of some bad shit. In this case, him being the Hulk and him having to go on the run, trying to prove his innocence, or in this case, stop being the Hulk. That I thought if they would have tried to make it a unique story, but every time they turn it into a blockbuster. The 2003 version did it when he was going up against this larger than life villain, his dad, I think it was, and this one it's the Abomination. I think they could have saved the Abomination for a Hulk sequel, but Marvel and Universal don't get along, so that was never going to happen. So they just squeezed the Abomination into this because he is I'm pretty sure, I'm not a big Marvel man. I'm not a big Marvel fan, so I'm pretty sure he's one of the Hulk's most formidable foes, physically. One thing I do have to admit is the characters are a little bland. Well, firstly, Bruce Banner, played by... I keep forgetting names and words, holy shit. Played by Edward Norton. He was pretty good. I liked him, okay? I haven't heard any bad things about his performance. The only thing bad that I've heard about him concerning this project is that he had a big hissy fit during production, and then Marvel was like, you ruined your chance of being Bruce Banner, so now we have to get someone else because he was kind of acting like a child. But excluding that, I like him as Bruce Banner. I like Mark Ruffalo as Bruce Banner. It's really not that hard to portray Bruce Banner. All you got to do is be a very shy person, basically. Not that hard. And I was going to say Eric Banner. That's the other one. Edward Norton was pretty good. I liked him. And Ross was great. So there's only two characters in performance that really stand out for me. I don't really hate this movie. I just like it because it's a fun blockbuster. But also I would have liked it if they would have tried to be more unique in the storytelling and the characters and what was going on, instead of turning it into a big blockbuster, which is pretty much what Marvel did the entire time and are still doing with most of their movies. So I like this movie. Not the best, but then again, not the worst. I like it because it's fun, but some of it does drag. So it's an okay movie. Anyway, I will see you in my review for Iron Man 2. See you then. Can't wait. No, really, I can't wait for Iron Man 2.